this evening. First, a taxi driver falls victim to a harrowing armed robbery in South Granville. The suspect, including a female accomplice, made off with his car and phone. Stay tuned for details on this chilling incident and the ongoing police investigation. Next, in response to sanitization concerns at the Corriverton Municipal Market, the Minister of Local Government and Regional Development promises immediate corrective measures. Find out how the government plans to improve cleanliness and infrastructure for vendors. Then, the Ministry of Natural Resources is exploring new areas for sandpit mining to meet the rising demand fueled by more major infrastructure projects. We'll bring you the insights into the future of sand mining operations and the significant developments driving its need. Also, a farmer from Mahaica has been charged with the brutal murder of a 38-year-old woman. Stay with us for more on the disturbing details of this case and the upcoming court proceedings. And finally, Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, raises the alarm over his nation's declining birth rate. What does this mean for the future of the island nation and the potential societal impacts? All this and more are coming up on tonight's broadcast. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for June 6, 2024. I'm Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. First up, police are investigating an armed robbery involving Sean Aziz, a 32-year-old taxi driver from Eccles, East Bank, Demerara. Aziz was relieved of his black Allion motor car valued at $1.6 million and a cell phone worth $50,000 during the incident. The robbery occurred around 9:30 p.m. on Wednesday at South Ramville. The suspects are two men and a woman, one of the men armed with a handgun. The suspects approached Aziz, who works for Double D taxi service in Eccles, at 8:30 p.m. The female and one male suspect requested a ride to South Ramville. Upon arrival, the female directed Aziz to stop behind the shopping plaza. She then exited the car and the male suspect choked Aziz from behind. Another male suspect with a gun approached and demanded Aziz open the door. The suspects tied up Aziz and placed him in the back of the vehicle. They drove to A Fields of Fire, left Aziz on the roadside and escaped with the car. Aziz's hands, still tied, alerted nearby citizens who took him to the Turkana police station. Investigations are ongoing. We now bring you an update to a murder investigation we reported to you in 2023. Kemraj Prasad, a 67-year-old farmer and businessman from Unity, Mahaica, East Coast Demerara, has been charged with the murder of 38-year-old Tromani Tulsi, also known as Anita. The crime occurred between November 21st and 22nd, 2023 in Unity. Prasad appeared before Magistrate Alan Wilson at the Mahaica Magistrates Court, where he was formally charged with murder. He did not enter a plea and was remanded to prison, with the case adjourned to June 20, 2024. Tulsi was found dead in her home on November 22nd, with her mouth gagged and a knife in her throat. Her handbag and house keys were missing, and her 5-year-old son, who was found locked in the upper flat, may have witnessed the incident. Tulsi was last seen alive around 7 p.m. the previous evening, and her body was discovered after concerned citizens broke a door lock to access the house. On a different note, corrective measures are being implemented at the Corriverton Municipal Market following sanitization concerns raised by vendors during a visit by Minister of Local Government and Regional Development, Sonia Parag, on Wednesday. Minister Parag assured vendors that the Corriverton Mayor and Town Council would assist in cleaning the market twice a month along with vendors' participation. Additionally, the government will provide bins and ensure daily maintenance of washrooms to improve cleanliness. In response to complaints about roof leakage, Minister Parag committed to addressing the structural integrity issues to provide a safer environment for the vendors. The minister also pledged to clear the market's surrounding canals within the next 2 days in collaboration with the National Drainage and Irrigation Authority. She urged vendors to avoid waste disposal in the trenches to prevent clogging and further sanitation issues. Stick around when we return. Government distributes Brazilian green dwarf coconut seedlings to revitalize Cameroon coconut industry, and Ministry of Natural Resources explores new sandpit mining areas amid infrastructure boom.
experience more than award-winning speed.
Way more.
Get the best that LTE has to offer on Digicel, officially the fastest mobile network in Guyana. Ookla, the company behind Speedtest, recognizes Digicel as the best mobile network in Guyana. With the best LTE experience and the fastest data speeds, experience it all with Digicel, the award-winning network for everyone, everywhere.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Hello, my fellow TikToker followers. It's Credit, and today all we will be making Chinese noodles with peppies, chow mein, chicken fritters, and spice cake. For the noodles, all these will be using peppies, black pepper, cashew,
Chinese sauce, soy sauce, garlic sauce, paprika, Chinese seasoning, chow mein seasoning, white spice, and all-purpose seasoning.
Next, this chicken that we marinated, soak for all you wanna know nothing with peppies, green seasoning, miracle seasoning,
Pepper sauce, chicken seasoning, paprika, garlic powder, dark seasoning, black pepper, onion powder, and ginger powder, and document plantain flour, and then this butter we make with this quick piece powder, and we
boil in high. We serve with peppies, barbecue sauce. Radhika went to the supermarket and she papa buy up enough things. She feels she alone can cook, but she routine even wrong. She shaped like a guy in a map.
Peppies has a wide range of ingredients available at supermarkets nationwide. Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
The Father's Day Cultural Extravaganza is here again. Yes, it's dedication to Daddy 5, A Father's Dream 2. Featuring Marissa Morgan Bonney, Romel Edmondson, Keisha Sam, Delisha Wright, Simone Dowding, Jolyon Harry, Colin Ambrose, Mosa Telford, Frederick Minty, Antoine De Silva, Ryan Hadley, Creative Arts Dance Troupe, and others. On Sunday, June 16 from 8 p.m. at the National Cultural Center. Tickets are $2,500. Directed by Sharon Cadogan Taylor.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Current smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Mill Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Natural Resources is considering additional areas for sandpit mining due to increased demand driven by Ghana's infrastructure development. Minister of Natural Resources Vikram Bharat noted a rise in applications for sandpit mining along the Linden-Susac Highway, but emphasized the need to explore alternative sites given the area's ongoing developments. Key projects on the Susac-Linden Highway includes the new Silicon City, the construction of 100 young professional homes, a new housing development at Plantation York, a multi-million-dollar regional food hub positioning Ghana as the regional trade and logistics center. Minister Bharat suggested that sand mining operations may need to be shifted from trucking to barging, which is more feasible and profitable. He also reminded agricultural leaseholders along the highway that mining can only proceed if the Ghana Lands and Survey Commission grants no objection, followed by a mining permit from the Ghana Geology and Mines Commission. This procedure also applies to those seeking to operate a sawmill in the area. In other news, Coconut farmers in the Pomeroon region received 3,000 Brazilian green dwarf coconut seedlings from the Ministry of Agriculture as part of an initiative to rejuvenate the coconut industry in Region 2. On Wednesday, Minister of Agriculture Zulfikar Mustafa handed over the high-yielding seed nuts to farmers in charity, marking phase 1 of the program. A total of 7,000 seedlings will be distributed to farmers in both the Lower and Upper Pomeroon. This initiative follows the minister's visit less than 6 months ago, where plans to enhance the region's quality and quantity of coconuts were announced. In addition to the seedlings, Minister Mustafa also distributed 3 coconut shredders to reduce the waste and prevent the dumping of coconut shells in the Pomeroon River. Don't go away after the break. South Africa floods, at least 21 killed and hundreds left homeless, and Indonesia volcano, thousands flee eruptions at Mount Ibu.
Not a single bar of service.
Not with us. Digicel officially has the best mobile coverage in Guyana. Ookla, the company behind Speedtest, recognizes Digicel as the network with the best mobile coverage in Guyana. Be it in Aishalton or in Etteringban, we got you covered.
Digicel, the award-winning network for everyone, everywhere.
Hello, my fellow TikToker followers. He is Credit, and today all we will be making Chinese noodles with peppies, chow mein, chicken fritters, and spice cake. For the noodles, all of these will be using peppies, black pepper, cashew,
Chinese sauce, soy sauce, garlic sauce, paprika, Chinese seasoning, chow mein seasoning, five spice, and all-purpose seasoning.
Next, this chicken that we marinated, soak for all you wanna know nothing with peppies, green seasoning, miracle seasoning,
Pepper sauce, chicken seasoning, paprika, garlic powder, jerk seasoning, black pepper, onion powder, and ginger powder, and document planting flour, and then this butter we make with this quick piece powder, and we
boil in high. We serve with peppies, barbecue sauce. Radica went to the supermarket and she papa buy up enough things. She feels she alone can cook, but she routine even wrong. He shaped like a guy in a map.
Peppies has a wide range of ingredients available at supermarkets nationwide. Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
The Father's Day cultural extravaganza is here again. Yes, it's dedication to Daddy 5, a father's dream too. Featuring Marissa Morgan Bonney, Romel Edmondson, Keisha Sam, Delisha Wright, Simone Dowding, Jolyon Harry, Colin Ambrose, Mosa Telford, Frederick Minty, Antoine De Silva, Ryan Hadley, Creative Arts Dance Troupe, and others. On Sunday, June 16 from 8 p.m. at the National Cultural Center. Tickets are $2,500. Directed by Sharon Cadogan Taylor.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Common smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Mill Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, has raised concerns over the low birth rate in his island nation, noting that more women are choosing not to have children or only having one. Despite suggestions for financial incentives, Gonsalves pointed out that studies show such measures are not always effective. He emphasized that the issue is not solely financial, as seen in countries with higher birth rates despite economic challenges. The aging population, highlighted in an IMF report, poses a significant risk alongside climate change and debt management. Gonsalves stressed the importance of family and warned that the declining birth rate could impact the country's future societal functioning. In 1960, St. Vincent and the Grenadines saw over 3,000 births with a population of close to 80,000, but in 2012, births dropped to just over 1,800 despite a population increase to over 100,000. The Prime Minister called for reflection on this issue to ensure a stable and civilized society. Internationally, severe weather and flooding along South Africa's east coast have killed at least 21 people and left hundreds homeless. Authorities have declared a state of emergency in KwaZulu-Natal province after a tornado swept through. Al Jazeera's Famida Miller reports.
Guys, this is over Tonga. There's a tornado.
A driver captures a tornado building up in South Africa's KwaZulu-Natal province. By the time many could seek shelter, it was too late. Areas like this have been devastated. The high winds and torrential rains flattened homes and flooded roads. At least 120 people have lost their homes, 11 others have been killed. Authorities have declared a state of alert.
We don't have any food because it's all wet. All our belongings are wet. Our IDs are all under the rubble and we're still searching. We literally have nothing. We plead with those who can help to come forward and rescue us.
The rooms have been destroyed. That means my tenants don't have a place to stay. Now I have to try and get them a place to stay and have my house repaired, and I do not have that much money to do that. I survive because of my tenants, and there are only 2 of them.
In some areas, work is being done to restore water and electricity supply after power lines were damaged. 2 years ago, Durban and its surrounding areas were the site of the worst flooding in South Africa's history, killing more than 400 people. At least 10 people have died now in the neighboring Eastern Cape province, where there's been extensive flooding. And more than 2,000 people have been forced to leave Nelson Mandela Bay. Weather services say the heavy rains and cold are likely to bring hail, snow, and more strong winds. They've issued a warning in 2 other provinces because more bad weather is expected. Famida Miller, Al Jazeera.
Meanwhile, thousands of people have been forced to flee their homes on the Indonesian island of North Maluku due to almost daily volcanic eruptions. Al Jazeera's Barnaby Liu reports.
After decades of being dormant, Mount Ibu in the remote Halmahera region of Indonesia is erupting. Tens of thousands of tremors have been recorded since the beginning of May, and its series of eruptions has sent ash raining on surrounding villages. That's forced more than 2,600 people within the volcano's 7-kilometer danger zone to leave the area.
I've been here since May 27th because there was a huge eruption then, and we saw fire and lightning coming out of the volcano's crater. We all got really scared.
People are allowed to come home during the day, but troops are on standby with military trucks, ready to move people away from danger in case the eruption gets worse. Authorities raised the alert level for Mount Ibu to the highest in a 4-tier system on May 16th, and since then, it's been erupting almost every day, spewing ash columns as high as 7,000 meters. Disaster mitigation officials have also been using drone technology to map out potential hazards from cold lava flow. With rain pouring each day, flash floods could carry a dangerous mix of rocks, gas and ash, as they did after Mount Merapi in Indonesia's western Sumatra region erupted last month, and more than 60 people died.
Currently trying to map the current situation in terms of the housings and also especially those that are near the river streams. We are trying to identify if should there be any debris flow, where are the possible congestion.
But those in evacuation camps say they have more immediate concerns.
We appreciate that they give us food, but our problem is money, because we still need to spend for our children who are in school. We can't make money if we're here all day.
Because while the government has promised to provide assistance, it's not clear how long before Mount Ibu calms down. Barnabelow, Al Jazeera, West Halmahera, Indonesia.
Finally, June 5th was World Environmental Day. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres is again raising the alarm on climate change. He says the world is heating up faster than ever before, and humanity is running out of time to take act. Al Jazeera's Gabriel Alonso reports.
The American Museum of Natural History in New York is home to millions of specimens of plants, animals, people, and the living world. Fitting, perhaps, the UN chose here for the Secretary General to deliver a special address on climate action he called a moment of truth.
The truth is, the world is spewing emissions so fast that by 2030, a far higher temperature rise would be all but guaranteed.
On Wednesday, the World Meteorological Organization said there is 80% likelihood that the annual average global temperatures will exceed 1.5 degrees above pre-industrial levels in the next 5 years.
Why all this fuss about 1.5 degrees? Because our planet is a mess of complex connected systems, and every fraction of a degree of global heating counts. The difference between 1.5 and 2 degrees could be the difference between extinction and survival for some small island states and coastal communities. The difference between minimizing climate chaos or crossing dangerous tipping points.
Guterres has spoken often about the urgent need for climate action, but here were specifics, 33 different asks or policy recommendations. Among them, a call for every country in the world to create a national climate action plan. He called for a widespread ban on advertising from fossil fuel companies, in the same way many countries limit tobacco advertising. But if Guterres wanted to see the challenges of getting local governments to implement his ambitious climate call to action, he didn't have to look very far.
I have directed the MTA to indefinitely pause the program.
The governor of New York has now postponed a plan to tax every car entering New York City during peak hours to encourage public transportation and reduce emissions. It was due to go into effect later this month. The Secretary General does not have the power to demand issues be taken on climate change, but with the power of his bully pulpit and being the world's top diplomat and advocate, he certainly can put an issue back on the world agenda. And that's exactly what he was trying to do with this speech. Gabriel Elizondo, Al Jazeera, New York.
This brings us to the end of the regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 30-minute forecast. And that's it, TV2 Headline News for this Thursday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. You can tune in at 6:30 a.m. for a rebroadcast and at 5:30 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.